and hello. How are you doing? I saw a video from Jody Jean Daniels and I really liked it. So I'm going to share my version and open the door for any other authors or anybody else that happens to be out here on the tube land to use it as a prompt to make a video. Because to me this is meaningful and it's something that I have delved into several times and I wanted to just bring it back around. Thank you, Jody Jean, and I will make sure and link her original video in the description. The idea is, if you could talk to your younger creative self, what would you say? So, if I were talking to my younger self, period, not just as a creative, because being creative is just part of my soul, so just talking to myself directly. This is some of the things that I would want to say. What other people are doing doesn't matter. You can go out and do the same things everybody else does and be part of that group, and it'll feel good at first. But you can also do something completely different. Don't be afraid to stand out. It's scary, yes. But in the end, standing out and making sure that people know where you stand is more important than belonging to any group. I would tell her, considering how independent she was as a teenager, she should go ahead and jump out of the nest. That's just the way I see it. Hindsight is 20/20, but I would tell her to use the plans that she made and not stop. Don't look back. There were too many times that I was very cautious about things that I did. It was the way I was raised. It was the society I was raised in. By the time I was 16, I had plans to go through with the applications that I had for being an exchange student, but I never did. That would be one of the regrets that I do have. So anyway, that's one of the things I would say, because I feel like there could have been a lot of experiences had if I had just gone through the plans. Stop being so cautious. It's connected to the very first one. On a personal level, I would tell myself to truly love freely. I would tell myself to trust my instincts when it comes to that, and not let other people sway me the way that I did. I would tell her to hold your girlfriend's hand in public. Don't be afraid. Nobody should have taken that away from us. I would tell myself, stop hurting yourself to accomplish the goals of other people. Now this goes toward my professional self, who was, I guess, in her late 20s through 40s into 50, close to 50. I would tell myself to stop hurting yourself to accomplish the goals of other people. So often I found myself in a professional situation where I was breaking. I was burning the candle at both ends to reach the goals of the company, to be better for the company, or for the manager, or for the supervisor. And truth is, that manager's not going to be there all the time. The company is going to make changes. You aren't as important to them as you think that you are. So all that time, all that blood, sweat, and tears, right? It could have been focused on my goals, not theirs. I wish I could bring that time frame back. I wish I could bring not bring the time frame back, but bring the time back. If I could grab that time back that I wasted, I'd love to do that. I would tell her to stop worrying about what other people think. I would tell her to start writing what makes sense to her and publishing it. I have passed up so many opportunities to get in on the foundations of what was soon to be popular, including indie publishing. I was so worried about keeping up appearances, so worried about how people would perceive me if I did this or if I published that. These were our little side stories. These were our, you wouldn't publish these kind of stories, out in the real world. That's just not true. That's just not something that my family would have been very proud of. And then along came 50 Shades of Grey. I'm just like, wow. Along came all of these authors who are publishing open door sex scenes, and they're publishing things that are well beyond, like a dark romance, because I wanted to read more of that to see what the difference is. Anyway, there are a lot of things that were hard-hitting things that I had written that they're gone now. And I should have just wrote the damn book, I should have just published it. As Mama Maggie says, stop letting the imp and imposter syndrome take over the conversation. Press publish and move on. Yes, true. Anyway, what do you think? How would you answer that question? Again, thanks to Jody Jean Daniels for the prompt, and I'll link her video in the description. Catch you next time.